Welcome back everybody to episode 7 of Reignite Your Creative Spark. This channel is all about helping you reignite that creative spark so you can live a happy, more fulfilled life. And I'm starting today with finishing off the story I started in the last video. I'm not going to repeat it again because, again, like I said in the last video, I don't want people sitting watching this video till all hours and like going, my God, this is a very, very long video. I promised I'd keep these short, and short I'll keep them. When I got up on stage for that improv game, something inside me flipped. And the flip, literally, if I was to put words in it, said, I don't care anymore. I genuinely don't care. In the back of that, there was also the sentence, I'm probably going to make a Hames out of this anyway, so I'm just going to go for it. And I got up on stage, and everyone sat there, and I said, right lads, get out. Go on, shoot, out you get. I'm not doing this. And I actually stood on stage and folded my arms. Funnily enough, people started laughing. And I, for some reason, ignored the laughter and started to get more and more insistent that they leave. And said, go on lads, shoot. I found a dusty broom at the side of the stage, got it up and started sweeping it out of them, saying, get out. And the more I got annoyed with them, the funnier they found it. That was the day I figured out what improv was. And that was the day that I figured out something about judgment. And I've learned over the years 3 steps for eliminating judgment. 3 very basic things that you can do on an everyday basis. And for those of you who grew up in my generation and learned all about the Save Cross code, I've made it super easy for you because I'm using a stop, look and listen method, because I think it's a very practical way for you to remember this. If at some point you get stuck, stop, look and listen will be somewhere in your head and you can pull it out. So, like I said in previous videos, if you want to get these videos directly into your inbox and you haven't signed up for my video blog, pop your name and email into the box above and feel free to share this video with colleagues. So I've probably left you at the point where you've identified where you feel quite stressed and anxious, and now I'm going to look at 3 ways where you can really reduce that stress and anxiety. And the first one is stop. Stop assuming the meaning behind what people say. There's a discipline I trained in called neurolinguistic programming, and one of the presuppositions of neurolinguistic programming is the meaning of your communication is the response you get. So that shows that something can get lost in translation. Something can be interpreted, what was quite innocuous can be interpreted as a really damning insult or something really judgmental. So you need to stop and see whether you're putting a slant on what people are thinking and the thoughts behind what people said to you. Because is that person really out to get you? Is that person really jealous of you? Is that person really got nothing else in their lives except time to really focus in and be hypercritical of whatever it is you're doing? I think stopping there and looking at the intention behind what somebody else is saying will really help, because I know myself, one of the big learnings I got from NLP was every behaviour has a positive intention. Nobody is ever deliberately setting out to sabotage what you're doing. There's always a good reason or motive behind what they're doing. And if you look at that in terms of creativity, if somebody is always trying to be helpful at some level, that's going to help you in your own creativity. And you're also not going to assume the worst of somebody's feedback on what you're saying or doing or how you're doing in your expression. The second point is to look, and that is to look at your own language. Look at how you're expressing yourself. If you're saying, I'm not good enough, I am this or I am not that, they are very black and white categorical labels, and they will do nothing except hold you back. Now, unless they're positive, I am capable of great things, I am capable of expressing my creativity, they're very powerful things, but I'm no good at art, or I am not an expressive person, or I will never be successful at this. Bear in mind, when you look at the word successful, when I mentioned look at your language, what is successful? If I asked a room full of people, imagine there's like a full audience full of people being super quiet as mice behind this camera, what success is, they'll all tell me something different. So bear in mind, look at your language, look at how you're talking to yourself, because you're talking will in turn affect your thinking, which will in turn affect how you feel about yourself. And if you're not feeling positive about your creativity and finding something in yourself, well, let's be honest, if you're watching these blogs, you need whatever that is to come out. It will stay in there because you're talking in an unhelpful way about yourself, which will lead to your thinking in an unhelpful way about the creative outlet, which will lead to you being in an unhelpful way, i.e. probably doing nothing about it. Finally then, listen. Listen to what people are actually saying in terms of their feedback and their expression. As I said in the previous video, usually if it's feedback, it's very specific. It's about the particular act you're doing. It's the particular specific behavior, action or event. It's not about you as a unit. And within that, there could be some very valuable feedback. I, from one, have never stopped learning, and I never will stop learning. I'm saying here that I know a lot about creativity, but I'm still emailing and contacting people on a daily basis who I feel I could learn a lot from. They're not necessarily PhD graduates. They're people who perform regularly. They're people who have a passion for it, and they can help me in my journey and help me grow. And in order for me to continue to grow and get that little bit closer to my authentic voice, I have to be open to listening. I have to be open to hearing what they have to say and then assessing it for myself. Then looking at, okay, well, what sits with me, what doesn't sit with me, and following my own true course. So that's the stop, look and listen method. If you like these videos and you haven't signed on, please put your name and email into the box above, and feel free, for those of you who have, thanks for bearing with me saying sign in. Share these videos with friends, because I do think judgment is something, no matter what age you're at, you can always be susceptible to it. I'm still susceptible to it. I still have to stop, look and listen myself every now and then. And as mentioned last week, the link to the Free from Judgment Hypnosis is on this newsletter. I hope you've got it. If you haven't got it, email me at tracy@thecreativeinstitute.ie to get that sent in directly to your inbox. And I'm looking forward to talking to you next time on this video blog about comparisons and how comparisons can help or hinder creativity. And until then, thanks for watching.